Allow them to relax and just fall out to the side. Taking the arms just slightly away from you, turn your palms up to face the ceiling. Allow your body to relax and be heavy. In through the nose, out through the nose, lengthening the inhales, lengthening the exhales. And as you add a gentle constriction to the glottis, narrowing the airway, start to notice the sound of your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, belly rises, ribs expand, collarbones lift. Breathing out, collarbones settle, ribs regather as the navel comes back towards the spine. And just let the breath flow. Inhale into exhale, back into the inhale, over and over and over again. Quiet the mind, let go of the day. Focus on the sound of the breath, focus on the expansion and contraction happening within the body. Try to let the breath that you establish now carry you throughout this practice today. And as you bring movement to your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles, turn your head slowly side to side. Roll your head back to center. Slide your legs together, point your toes. Reach the arms all the way back and over your head. And take a deep breath in, stretch the whole body out as long as can be, and as you exhale, release the arms back down to the sides. On the inhale, draw your knees into your chest. And as you hug those knees in, just start to rock from side to side, massaging your back. Try to roll from hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear. Good. As you roll back to center, take a grip on the back of your thighs, pop your hips up off the mat, and begin to roll up and down the length of your spine. If that's available, if you know it's not good for your back, just continue to rock side to side instead. If you're going side to side, roll all the way over to your right to come up to seated. If you're going back and forth, you can roll right up to seated and just take a comfortable cross-legged seat. Stacking the ears over the shoulders and the shoulders over the hips. Hands resting maybe on the knees, the thighs, or down in the lap. Give a little squeeze between those shoulder blades. And as you lengthen upwards through the crown of the head, take a deep breath in. Exhale, melt your right ear over toward your right shoulder. Keeping the chin slightly pulled back so the back of the neck is long. Shoulders are both relaxed and down away from the ears. Good. As you inhale, let the head come up, and as you exhale, change sides. Left ear toward left shoulder. Try not to move the shoulders at all. And just breathe slow and steady. On the inhale, let the head come up, and as you exhale, start to lift the chin, exposing the throat. At some point, you may need to open the mouth to maintain a relaxed jaw, but make sure you're still breathing through just the nose. Trying to extend and lengthen that neck, not just dropping it straight back. Good, and your next inhale, lift the head up, extend through the crown, and as you exhale, begin to melt your chin down and toward your chest. Try not to let your upper back round, though. Maintain that squeeze between the shoulder blades. Good, let's inhale, lift the head up. As you exhale, just turn your head as far to the right as it'll go. Imagine you could turn that head right around. Keep the spine long, keep the neck long. Relax your jaw. Inhale, back through center, and exhale, let your head turn now all the way to the left. Looking as far back over that left shoulder as you possibly can. Good, as you inhale, come back through center. As you exhale, bring your palms together and start to rub those hands together. So put some pressure between the palms and start to go a little bit faster and start to create some heat between those hands. Try not to round the back. Keep the facial muscles relaxed. Go a little bit faster if you can. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. A little bit faster if you can. Go, go, go. Quick, quick, quick. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, extend the arms, spread the fingers, hands a little wider than the shoulders. Relax the shoulders down. Bring your hands into shoulder distance, and then inhale, lift through those fingertips. As you exhale, start to extend those arms forward, gently folding over those legs, releasing to the palms, crawling those fingers as far forward as they'll go, relaxing the chest, the chin, the nose, and then the forehead. Good, as you inhale, lifting the head back up. As you exhale, walk those hands slowly back in. Swing those feet around to one side, maybe the side you don't typically do it to, and come on to your hands and your knees into your table pose. So you want two of your own fist distance between the knees and the ankles so the shins are parallel. Low belly is lifted, the shoulders are coming forward, maybe over the first set of knuckles as you grip with the pads of your fingers. Press the floor away through both hands, and then inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up, and hold this cow. So try to push the heart forward through those upper arms, drawing the shoulders still much down away from the ears here. You're going to try to lengthen the neck. Take another inhale, stretch it back a little further, and then exhale, start to tuck the tail and the chin. Slowly rounding out your back like one of those Halloween cats, arching right up to the ceiling. Pushing the floor away from you through those hands, heavy through the tops of your feet. Waiting for your inhale, tail leads, chin comes up, open the throat, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin and around, and continue through a few rounds of cow to cat. Maybe you can even close your eyes. Try to create space between your fingers here. So picture those hands like starfish. Really open up those fingers wide. One more inhale into cow. One more exhale into your cat. And then come back to that neutral table, looking down to the ground just ahead of your fingers. On an inhale, send your right leg back and your left arm forward. And then really press through that right hand. So try to keep your hands at shoulder distance as you extend that left arm out. Try not to move your right hand in too much. You want to keep shoulder over wrist. Keep looking down to the ground, just ahead of where your fingers are. So the chin is slightly tucked and pulled up towards the throat. Press out through that right heel. Extend forward through those left fingers and take one more inhale. Lengthen the arm and leg, lift them up a bit higher. Exhale, set the hand and the knee down. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Change sides. Lift that left shoulder up and away from that left wrist. Draw that low belly up and in towards the spine. Keep gripping with those left fingers, distributing the weight across that entire hand. Every finger has space in between it, from thumb to pointer, pointer to middle, middle to ring, ring to pinky. Take another inhale, stretch it out a little longer, lift those limbs just a bit higher. Exhale, set the hand and the knee down. Bring your big toes to touch, sit your hips to your heels. Keep your knees at the distance they are. Relax the chest, the head. Relax the arms. Maybe your hands support your head. Maybe your head rests on the ground. Can you slide the arms then back alongside the legs and turn the palms up to face the ceiling there? And just feel those shoulders kind of roll and melt right off the back. Try to maintain that flow of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Good, and then sweeping those hands forward, looking forward. Make sure your hands are at a shoulder distance width. You're gonna pull the hips away from the heels, curl your toes under, and press back into your first downward facing dog. And as you come up to down dog, just start to walk those heels up and down a few times. Alternating right and then left, right and left. Press that right heel down the next time you get there and hold it. Little bend in your left knee. If your heels are more than 4 inches off the ground, step your feet a little bit closer to your hands or bend the knees a little bit. Now change sides. Press the left heel down towards the ground as you bend your right knee. Hold and breathe. Breathing into any tension, any tightness that you experience in that left leg. Now inhale, rise onto your toes, lift your hips really high, push your chest way, way back, and lower both heels gently down. Good, let's inhale, rise up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and walk your feet all the way up, right to the space between your hands. Now inhale, hands to the shins, look out in front of you, long spine. As you exhale, fold down over those legs. Inhale again to that flat back. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades together. And exhale, fold, hinge from the hips. Last time. Inhale, long spine, look forward, heart forward, away from navel. Exhale, fold. Hold here. Try to keep just as much weight in your toes as you have back in your heels. Let that head just hang and be heavy. Maintain the breath. Maintain that focus. Good. So we're going to keep our right foot where it is. Take a big step back with the left foot and lower your left knee and untuck your left toes. If you need that left knee padded, you can take your blanket underneath the knee. Slide that left leg back as far as it'll go behind you. Walk your right foot a little bit closer to your right hand. Good. Lift your chest away from your front thigh. Lift your chin up and away from the chest. Try to keep your right knee right over top of your right ankle here. Look forward. Good. As that leg, that hip begins to open up, maybe the ability is there to slide the left leg just a little bit further back, even if it's just a couple centimeters. Continue to breathe deeply. Left toes pointing straight back behind you. Take another deep breath in, really extend up through the crown. As you exhale, look down, curl your left toes under. Take a big step forward with the left foot and a big step back with the right foot. Setting the right knee down, untucking the toes. Walk the left foot a little closer to your left hand. So in between your left foot and your right knee, 2 fists, your own, would fit in between them. Chest is lifted, chin is lifted, throat is open. Maybe you can slide that right leg just a little bit further back. Try to keep your knee right over top of your ankle here. Shoulders are over the wrists. Focus your eyes. Try not to let them wander. Keep melting your hips down towards the ground. Breathing into any tension, any tightness that you encounter there. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, relax the head down, curl the right toes under. Inhale, big step forward with that right foot, and then fold over your legs. Now we're going to keep the right foot where it is. Take a big step back with the left foot, but this time stay up on your toes. Slide that left foot back as far as it'll go. Move the chest forward, away from the navel. Move the navel forward, away from the pubic bone. And now just start to straighten out your right leg. So you may need to walk the hands back a little bit. Try to stay on the ball of your left foot. Now roll the weight to the inner edge of your right foot, really rooting into the big toe in the inner heel. And as you inhale, look forward. Right hip back, left hip forward. As you exhale, start to fold over those legs. Relax your head. Trying to keep your right leg as straight as possible here. Pressing that left heel down towards the ground. Sending the crown of the head down towards the top of that right foot. And now we inhale, lift the chin away from the chest. As you exhale, rebend that right knee. Hands can crawl forward if they came back. And now step your left foot forward and step your right foot back. So you want to wiggle that right foot back as far as it'll go so that your knee is over your ankle. Make sure your feet are at a hip distance stance here. We stay on the ball of the back foot. Now we begin to straighten the left leg this time. So try not to step your right foot closer. You want to be in a very long stance. Your hands might need to crawl back a little bit. Now press into that left big toe in that inner left heel. Inhale, look out in front of you, pull the left hip back, shift the right hip forward, stay on the ball of the right foot as you start to melt the chest down, the chin, the nose, and then the forehead. Look at your right toes. Try to keep those right toes pointing straight forward, so don't plant the heel, stay on the toes. Breathe. Maintaining that slow, long, deep breathing, breath with awareness. On your next inhale, lift the chin away from the chest, and as you exhale, rebend the left knee. Hands can crawl forward if they came back. Take a big step forward with the right foot and fold at the top of your mat. Breathe here. Let the arms just hang, let the head dangle. Give the head a little shake as though saying no. Bring it back to center and just start to nod the head yes, up and down. Bring it back to center one more time, shaking the head no. And one more time, nodding the head yes. And then relax your head completely. Good. We're going to keep our right foot there. Take a big step back with that left foot, but this time plant your left foot on a 45-degree angle. Bend deeply into your right knee. Hands are on the ground. Draw the right hip back, shift the left hip forward now. Walk your hands up onto your right knee, up onto your thigh. So plant your left foot flat. So plant your left heel, John. Good. As you walk those hands up, you can bring them right up to the hips. Point your hips straight out in front of you. So if you need to step the left foot in, step it in. We want that heel rooted. Arms come down by the sides, palms roll open. And now inhale, sweep the arms forward and all the way up. Maybe lift the chin a little bit, looking up. Pull that low belly back towards the spine as you tuck the tailbone slightly down and extend up through the fingers. Maintaining that long, deep breathing. Good. Take another inhale. Extend those fingers up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower your hands all the way down to the ground. Step your left foot up and fold over your legs. And now we're going to take a step back with the right foot, planted on a 45-degree angle. Pull your left hip back and your right hip forward. Rooting the back edge of that right foot down, walk your hands to your knee, up onto your thigh, all the way up to your hips, and point your hips straight forward. As you relax the arms down at the sides, palms roll open, and with an inhale, sweep the arms forward and all the way up, looking up. Pull the shoulders down. Try to keep the neck long. Try to keep the eyes focused. So make sure that your right foot is turning in on a 45-degree angle. So Fran, bring your right foot in a little closer for me. And then turn that foot in just a little bit. Yeah, and now let that right hip come towards me, left hip back. Good. Scoop that tailbone, lift the chin, focus the eyes. Take one more inhale, extend the fingers up, up, up. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Step your right foot forward and fold over your legs. Try to let your head just go, let it hang, be heavy. Good, we're gonna keep our right foot there. We're gonna step our left foot back. But this time we're gonna step our left foot so far back that we can point our toes straight out to the left. Line up the right heel with the left arch. Good. So you wanna walk your right foot in, line it up with your left arch. Hands are still on the ground. Take your left foot back as far as it'll go. How far back can you walk your left foot? You want to be in a really long stance here. Keeping your right knee over your right ankle, you're going to lead with your left hand, and on an inhale, windmill up into your warrior two. So arms are going to end up out to a T. Your chest is open to the left. Your hips are open to the left. Tailbone is tucked. Turn your head, look down your right arm. Palms are to the floor. Bring your right heel in to line up with your left arch, so the center of your left foot, even more. Good. Allowing the shoulders to relax down away from the ears, do you have the ability to walk the left foot even further back? Try not to lean over your front leg with your torso. So pull back a little bit through those left fingers. Good. So Chris, bring your knee deeper. More. More. Maybe walk your left foot closer. Good. Take one more inhale. Really extend across the arms. As you exhale, we're going to windmill those hands back down. Come on to the left toes. Take a big step forward with the left foot and fold over your legs. Now we're going to take a big step back with the right foot. Walk it back, take it back. Left heel, right arch are in line. Your left knee is over your left ankle. Make sure your left toes point straight forward and your right toes point straight out. So you want your foot parallel with the short edge of your mat behind you. So now, John, walk your left foot over to the right. So your heel bisects your right foot in the center. Heel of the left foot to the arch of your right foot. Maureen, turn your right toes out a little bit more. Out to the right. Yeah. Now we're going to lead with the right hand, and on an inhale, windmill yourself up slowly into your warrior two. So we want to turn our hips and our shoulders both to the right. Spine is straight up and down. So reach back through those right fingers a little more, Maureen. Tucking the tail, draw the low belly in, turn your head to the left, look down the left arm, left foot all the way in. More. Walk the right foot back a little bit more if you can. Good. So extend up through the crown, relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Can your left knee move a little bit to the baby toe edge of that foot? Good. Reach back through those right fingers for that wall that's behind you. Sit your hips a little lower if you can. Don't lean forward. Keep that spine straight up and down. Take one last inhale, lengthen and extend as you exhale. Windmill those hands down, come onto the right toes, and step your right foot up. Hip distance from the left, bend your knees and take a rag doll. So the arms aren't working, they're just dangling, the head is heavy. Nod the head yes. Shake the head no. And then relax. Take 2 more breaths here. And at the end of that second exhale, you're going to start to walk your feet towards each other. Let your big toes touch and try to maintain just a little space between your heels. So not a big space. Make sure your feet are parallel to one another and look like the number 11, and start to bend your knees deeply. Sit the hips low, squeeze your knees together, and squeeze your thighs together. So let's bring our hands to our knees. Straighten the arms, point the tailbone down a little bit. Now we're going to bring our hands to our hips and bring the shoulders back a little more without unbending those legs. So keep tucking the tail, look straight out in front of you, extend your arms straight out in front of you, and then draw those shoulder blades onto the back again. Look at your right thumb. On the inhale, reach your right arm back, but don't let your hips follow. So bring your right hip forward, squeeze those knees together, keep looking at your right thumb, reach that right hand back as far as you can. Take another inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, right arms comes back to join the left. Look at your left thumb and inhale, open the other way. Keep that left hip coming forward. So don't let that left hip go back with the shoulder. Keep that left hip forward, squeeze those knees together, squeeze those thighs together. Take another inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, left arm comes back to meet the right. Inhale, lift the arms up beside the ears. Look up if you can. Keep pointing the tailbone down. Keep squeezing those knees and thighs together. As you inhale, straighten the legs, reach up, look up, push your hips forward as you exhale, lean gently back, but keep your heart lifting up towards the ceiling. The glutes are activating here to protect the low back. Try to maintain length, don't just drop back. On the inhale, come back up slowly. Exhale, relax, hands are at a shoulder distance. Inhale, lift the heels. Maybe just a little bit, maybe a lot. Squeeze those legs together like your legs were one strong leg now. Let the weight rest evenly across all 10 of those toes. Take another deep breath in, come up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower those heels. Inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhale, let the arms come down to the sides. Hands to the hips. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Bringing your left foot in right next to that right foot, swing the knee out to the left like a gate opening, but keep your hips pointing straight to the top of your yoga mat. Moving into your tree pose, so your foot can be at your ankle, your calf, your inner thigh. If the foot is at the ankle, toes can be on the ground or off the ground. Where is your edge today? Try to keep those hips pointing straight ahead. Tuck the tail, pull the low belly in, and now bring your palms together with a firm amount of pressure. Lower your wrists down to the height of your elbows so your forearms are parallel to the ground. Put that pressure between those hands. Lift through the crown of the head. Keep tucking the tail. Keep drawing that left knee back. Now interlace the fingers the other way. Opposite fingers on top. Press the palms forward as you straighten the arms, and again, squeeze between the blades, and now begin to float the arms up, but stop before the shoulders start to lift up. So how high can the arms come up before the shoulders want to hike up around the ears? Keep those shoulders down, keep the neck long. Use your drishti, your gazing point. Really focus the eyes. Take one more inhale, pressing out through those palms. As you exhale, release the arms straight out in front of you. Palms together, hands to heart. Hands to hips, left knee points forward. And we set the left foot down on the ground. Settle the weight into the left leg. Pick up the right foot, give the right leg a very gentle little shake, and then set the foot down, kind of walk in place. Relax the arms, close the eyes. Hands to the hips, feet together. Left foot becomes the supporting foot as you come onto the ball of the right foot. Swing the knee out to the right like you were opening a gate. Keep your hips forward though. Now, what did you do with your left foot on the other side? You're going to do the same thing now. Try to keep those left toes pointing forward. Bring your foot to your ankle, your calf, inner thigh. Put some pressure between the foot and the leg. Check to make sure the hips are level and even. Tail tucked. Draw the belly in, draw the knee back, and now bring your palms together, hands at your heart. And again, the wrists are down, level with those elbows, forearms parallel to the floor. Interlace your fingers, opposite to what you did last time, the way that comes naturally, and then take those palms, press them forward. Give a little squeeze between the shoulder blades as we focus the eyes on an inhale. The arms begin to float up. Don't lift the shoulders. Keep drawing that right knee gently back, opening up the hip. Take another inhale, really press through the palms. As you exhale, release the arms back out in front of you. Bring your palms together, bring your hands to your heart. Point your right knee forward. Set your right foot down, relax the arms down. Pick up the left foot, give that left leg a gentle shake. And then set the feet down at a hip distance stance. Palms roll open, maybe you're bending the knees a little bit. And then with the eyes closed, just pause. And breathe, and notice how the body is feeling. If you're not there already, step forward to the top of your mat. Feet at a comfortable stance. As you inhale, reach the arms forward and up, look up. As you exhale, fold all the way down over those legs. Inhale, look forward and lengthen your spine. And now plant your palms flat on your yoga mat. Bend your knees however much you need to get the hands down. Heels of the hands on the ground. Now step your right foot back and your left foot back. And you can set the knees down. They're substantially further back than they would be in a table, or you can stay on your toes. You're in plank or modified plank. Make sure that the crease of the wrist is parallel with the top edge of the mat. Tuck the tail, pull the belly in. Keeping your shoulders forward over your first set of knuckles, look forward as you inhale, lower shoulders and hips at the same time as you exhale. Now untuck the toes, and as you send the chin forward, lift through the back of the head. Pull your heart forward and stretch your toes back. So go for length in your cobra before you go for the height. Tops of the feet are heavy. All 10 of those toes connect to the floor. Hands are behind the shoulders. Take another deep breath in and lower your forehead down. Curl your toes under. Press up to the knees and then press back into downward dog. Hips high, chest back. Try to press the heels down. Gentle, slow breath. Take a full inhale, and as you exhale, lower your knees and untuck your toes. Bring your big toes together. Try to sit all the way back on the heels. Keep your torso up in the air. Take your knees as wide as they possibly can go now. So your hips are back, your chest is up. How much can you sit the hips down? How wide can you get your knees? When the knees can't go any wider, relax to your forearms. Let your forearms support you. Relax your head. Look back. Make sure your big toes are still touching. And then close your eyes. Use those arms where they're resting on the floor. Push into those hands and forearms to push your hips towards your heels. As the hips open up, maybe you can slide the knees further apart. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin up and away from the chest, and then lift the elbows as you walk your hands back to where those elbows just were. Bring your thighs together. Walk the hands forward a little bit so you can lift off the heels. Curl your toes under, keeping your feet together, your thighs together, your knees together. So the toes are tucked under. Let your hips fall back towards your heels. So your hands can be out in front of you, especially if your hips are kind of up in the air, your knees aren't allowing you to go any further, or your feet feel really tight. Maybe you're walking the hands a little closer. Trying to have very little space between the buttocks and the heels now. So if the hips are right down on the heels, and this feels really easy, maybe your hands are resting on your thighs. More weight now comes into the feet. If you are here and it feels really easy, then maybe the hands are coming back behind you. You're taking even more weight back into the feet, really stretching out the toes, the arches. Finding that place that's comfortably uncomfortable, closing the eyes and just breathing there. Sending the breath to the toes, to the feet, to the arches. Try not to let those heels fall out to the sides. Keep those toes pointing straight down. We give very little attention to our feet on a daily basis, but they take us everywhere that we go. So send them some love, send them some oxygen. Breathe into those feet. Breathe into any tension, any tightness you encounter there. Now, if you've leaned back into your hands on an inhale, start to lift the head up, push into the hands, start to lift the shoulders up. Bring your hands down to the ground in front of you, walk them forward, lift off the heels, point your toes, and set the tops of the feet down on the ground. And then try to sit your hips back to your heels again. Try not to let your heels fall out to the side. So you want your toes pointing straight back. How much can you walk your hands back? So don't lay down. Come up. Lift your chest. So do you have the ability to take your hands back a little bit? Maybe you can lift your knees away from the floor. How much of a stretch can you give to the front of those ankles? Try to keep those toes pointing straight back. Maybe you can't even lift them. Maybe your hips are still up in the air. Work to your edge. What does that mean for you today? Lift those knees a little higher if you can. Take one more inhale, and then lower the knees. Roll to the side. You're less likely to roll over to, and let your legs come around. Let those feet come out. Give the legs a little shake. Give the toes a little wiggle. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your heels away from you so that you've made a diamond shape with your legs. From groin to arch, same length as from groin to forehead. So it's a fairly long stance that we have. Lift through the crown, give a little squeeze between the blades. Start to move the heart forward. Maybe your hands slide down to the front of your shins, maybe to the ankles. If your feet are way back and you feel as though if you were able to fold in half, your face would go past your feet, the feet need to go forward more. When you can't bring your chest any further forward, relax your head down, close your eyes. Pull your heart forward away from your navel and your navel forward away from your pubic bone. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch now, through the outer edges of the body, the outer part of the glute and hip, down the side of the leg. Good. As you inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, pause, and then we inhale and come all the way up. Slide your heels now as close to you as you can get them. And maybe you can open your feet up like a book. If you can't reach your toes, hold your ankles or your shins instead. If you can open your feet up like a book, just try to pull the big toe edges of the feet apart, not the pinky toe edges. And then lengthening upwards through the crown of the head, start to move the heart forward. Imagine you could get your chest to come right up to the top of your yoga mat. When it can't go any further forward, relax the head all the way down. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply here, in and out through your nose. Heart forward away from navel, navel forward away from pubic bone, low belly drawn in, shoulder blades squeezed together, and the neck is still very long. Good. As you inhale, slowly come all the way up. Releasing a hold of your feet or your legs, bring your knees together and send those legs out. Separate them a little bit and give them a little shake. So we have a couple different options here because we have some different levels of flexibility. We're moving into either our double pigeon posture with ankle over knee, knee over ankle, or a straight left leg and a bent right leg, crossing that right leg like an upside down backwards 4. So right leg is on top and the foot is flexed. Good. So make sure that your ankle bone is over to the left of your thigh so your ankle bone doesn't push into your quadricep muscle. Push out through the heel, the ball of the foot. Lengthen through the crown. Hands just beside the hips, lifting through the crown of the head. So Fran, bring your bottom foot forward so your ankle's right underneath your right knee. Even a little bit further, so you want those shins kind of stacked straight on top of one another if you can. Good. Keeping both feet flexed now. Start to move the chest forward. Notice what you're feeling in that right hip, right buttock. How far forward can your chest go? Keep flexing your right foot. So flex that right foot for me, Maureen. Yeah. When you can't bring your chest any further, maybe the hands can crawl a little further. Don't let your hands get so far out in front of you that they're guiding the way. Still try to lead with the heart, and when you can't go any further, relax your head down. Breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Keep flexing both of the feet. Take one more inhale and full exhale, and then inhale, slowly come up. Taking your legs out, heels to the edges of the mat, give those legs a gentle shake. And then we're going to do the opposite to what we just did. So if you had both legs bent, it's the left ankle over right knee and left knee over right ankle, or the right leg is straight and the left leg crossed over. Both feet are flexed. This keeps the ankle bone, or the ankle joint, pardon me, stabilized. Lifting through the crown of the head, hands beside the hips. Push out through the heels. Pull the toes back. Take another deep breath in, and then start to melt the heart forward. So how far forward can your chest go? Don't round the back. Maybe the hands can come up a little bit. Pull the heart forward, pull the belly forward, soften to your furthest place, and relax the head all the way down. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. In through the nose and out through the nose. Keep spreading your toes. Keep those legs active. Good. Last full breath here, in and out. And on your next inhale, slowly come up. Take your hands just behind you. Take those legs out, separate them, shake it out. Bring your heels to the top of your mat, maybe even slightly off the top of your mat. Lie all the way down onto your back. Draw your knees into your chest, hug them in, and rock from side to side. Good. Roll your body back to center. Bring your arms like railings right down beside you, palms pressed into the floor, and plant your feet right in front of your buttocks at a hip distance width. So heels on the ground, feet in front of the buttocks, hip distance width apart. Plant your feet on the ground. Draw your heels towards your buttocks. Turn your big toes slightly in. Flatten your low back towards the floor. So make sure you can feel your forearms hugging the sides of your body. That's how close to your body your arms are. So Fran, bring your arms right in, tight, tight, tight. Good. Press the back of the neck very gently down towards the ground. Tail is still tucked. Inhale, lift your hips up into bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. Try not to widen your knees to get your hips to come higher. Keep your knee right over your ankle. Keep your arms parallel to one another and really press your palms down to the ground. Press the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the shoulder. Don't widen those knees. Imagine you were holding your yoga block there. Don't let it drop. Pushing your heart up, 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 and towards that chin, creating that beautiful arch to your spine. Take another inhale, rise high on the toes. As you exhale, lower your upper back, mid back, low back. Let your heels come down. Walk your feet together. Let the soles of your feet connect as your knees open. Take your arms into cactus. Elbows at shoulder height, fingers pointing straight back behind you. Try not to lift your elbows off the ground though. Try to let the arms be heavy. Let gravity pull you down. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your arms circle down towards the legs. Bring your hands to your outer thighs, and on an inhale, bring your knees back together. Take your feet now and widen them. Stopping only when you feel your pinky toes at the edges of your yoga mat. Let your knees fall towards each other. Bring your arms either into cactus or straight out at shoulder height, starting with your palms down if your arms are straight out. If you have the space, take the arms to the T rather than the cactus. Take a deep breath in and let your knees fall to the right as you turn your head to the left. And if your arms are straight at shoulder height, palms can face the ceiling. Turn your head as far to the left as it'll go. Try to keep your feet as wide as your mat is wide, and you've rolled onto the outer edge of your right foot and the inner edge of your left foot. So you have a couple of options in this posture. If you want to take it further, the right foot can come up to rest on top of the left knee. You can see how that feels. If it doesn't feel really great, set it back down on the ground. If you want to try something different, walk your left foot out to the left a little bit more, letting your left knee come out more in line with your left hip. And take one last deep breath in. If that right foot is up, set it down. If you walk the left foot out, bring it back to the edge of the mat. And now inhale, let your head and your knees come up through center. And you should be able to feel the edges of your mat with your pinky toes. Take a deep breath in and let both knees melt to the left. Let your head turn to the right. And take a couple breaths before you go further. Try to keep that right shoulder down, heavy on the floor. Did you make an adjustment on the other side? The option is there of the left foot coming up to the right knee, or you can walk your right foot out to the right, bringing your knee out more in line with your hip. Find that place in the pose that feels good for your body today. And it might be different from the last time you did this posture. Take another deep breath in. If the left foot is up, slide it back down to the ground. If you walk the right foot out, bring it back in. Wait for the inhale. Head and knees come up. Walk the feet towards each other. Palms again turn down to the ground. If you're in cactus, do a little bit of downward pressure through the arms and let your knees just float to the chest. So keep your arms to that T or cactus. We're coming into our full twist now. So the knees are coming into the chest. Take a deep breath in, palms pressed down or elbows and arms pressed down. Knees to the right now. Turn your head to the left. Don't lift your left shoulder. Let your feet settle down to the floor. Turn your head all the way to the left. Palms can face up if your arms are to a T, if that feels good for the shoulders and across the chest. And just try to relax here. Every version of these twisting postures feels a little bit different, which is why we've done them all just slightly differently, targeting different areas of the body. Really targeting that low back area right now. So breathe into that low back. And try to soften and release that whole area every time you exhale. Just let everything go. Tension you're holding on to, tightness, discomfort. Breathe it out. Release it away. Good. If the palms turned up, because the arms are to a T, press them back down to the ground. Flex the feet a little bit. Inhale, let the head and the knees come back through center, knees pulling into the chest. Pause there at the top. Arms stay as they were, heavy on the floor. Take a deep breath in. And now the legs move left, the head turns to the right before the right shoulder lifts. Just set the feet gently down. Palms can turn up. Keep both arms heavy on the ground and try to let gravity do the work here for you. Shoulders down, shoulder blades down, even that right low rib cage coming back down towards the floor rather than turning to the left. And then relax as best you can through the low back, along the entire length of your spine, softening any tension, any tightness. Letting it go. Take another really long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale, start to press into the arms, the palms, whatever is touching. Flex your feet and then use the strength of your core to inhale, head and knees to center. Reach up for the knees with your hands. Squeeze them into your chest. And then draw your forehead up towards the knees. And if you can, wrap the arms a little further around the legs. Start to squeeze yourself into a tight little ball. Start to scrunch up your face and your scalp, your neck and shoulders, arms, torso, back, belly, legs. One more inhale. Hold the breath. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. eyes and release the head. Lower the feet. If you want to grab your socks, slide them over the feet. See if you can keep your torso on the ground. If you don't need to add the extra clothing, just extend those legs out, heels to the corners of your mat. Take the arms down alongside the body, lifting the upper back, tucking the shoulder blades, turning your palms up to face the ceiling above you. Try to keep the back of the neck long. Separate your back molars. Relax your jaw. Try to just rest the tip of the tongue behind the top front teeth, but let the rest of the tongue start to sink heavily down into your throat. And start to relax your throat. You no longer need to control the flow of air, so let that effort go. Breathing soft, gentle, natural once again. Try to let your eyes become still. Let your whole body begin to grow heavy. Feeling that low back just starting to melt gently down towards the ground. Let your eyes focus on that space just between the brows. If they grow fatigued and you need to relieve them, you can release away from that drishti, that gazing point, and just let them relax. If you can take that gazing point up to the space between the brow again, do so. Just let everything go, all of the effort of your practice. Relax completely. Take rest.